My name is Christina Smallwood, and I am born and raised in Southern California. I was a pastor's kid, and as you know, there's two kinds, and I was the latter. But I remember being really young and going with my dad from church to church and watching him set up tables and share his testimony, and just like having an impression on me really young that if you're just sharing about what you're passionate about, then you're fulfilled. And I remember on one drive home, he was like, you know what, Christy, the key to life is finding what you love to do, and then figuring out a way to get paid for it. And that really resonated with me, because I began like, what am I passionate about? And so I went to junior college, and I even started beauty school in the senior program at school. And I just remember being like, Dad, are you gonna be like proud of me if this is what I'm doing, if I'm a hairstylist? And he was like, yes, like you can absolutely like make a career out of it and be serious and do really extremely well. You just have to treat it like a business. And so that's what I did. You know, I went to beauty school, and I finished, I joke I finished at the top of my class, but in beauty school there really isn't such a thing. I just finished all my hours, completed all my things, went into assisting. I was really prideful. I didn't think I wanted to do that, but I knew I needed to continue learning and further my education. So that's what I did, and I did that for years longer than I intended to. And I remember being nervous to go on my own, and when I finally did, I felt like this freedom of, oh my gosh, like it was so empowering to be finally a booth renter. And I worked so hard, and I became a product educator in salons, and then I became, me and my girlfriend started a wedding business doing hair and makeup for events every weekend, you know, and then that picked up. And, you know, like to date, I think Privé Beauty Group does like a couple hundred weddings a year, which is awesome. A team of 16, it's incredible. And then, so I was working behind the chair, I was working as a product educator on my like downtime or time off, and then I, you know, was doing the weddings every single weekend, and I loved it all. I loved everything about the salon life, and just having my hands in hair and connecting with women. And I've always been a girl's girl, and of course I had clients that would come in and sell, you know, they did direct sales and they sold different things, and I was just like, I mean, that sounds cool, like why not make more money, you know? Like that's an amazing thing. I know as a hairstylist, I can only make what I'm actually working behind the chair doing when I'm on my feet, right? And of course we would make commissions on products sold in salon, and it was minimal. It wasn't like, you know, thousands of dollars or anything, but it helped. And then the first thing that happened was my husband, and I met my husband. I joked that like I was married to him, and then I, you know, married my career too, you know, but we were, you know, love, marriage, and then we were just missing that baby in the baby carriage part, and found ourselves diagnosed with infertility, which I, you know, was devastated. I'll never forget. I was literally in the middle of working and got the phone call that, you know, they asked me to sit down and said that I had low AMH levels, and that it was going to be unlikely that I got pregnant naturally, and based on what they saw. And so long story short, I gave myself 24 hours to like have this pity party. And then, you know, we joke, because I came home and I was like, do you still love me? Like, do you love me? And he's like, what am I, a medieval king? You know, like make babies for me or leave? Like, you know, and we joke, but that's how I felt. And if you're a woman that's dealt with it, you know what that feels like your body, the part that makes you a woman is like broken, you know? So I worked through my grief. I got my, we went into the adoption fairly quickly. We got matched quickly. And I just remember like scheduling doctor's appointments and then going in between work, and I was like, look, I'm already a working mom, you know, and I thought I had it all figured out. And obviously if you're a mom, you know, like you never really have it figured out. So got to that point where I was leaving a wedding. I'll never forget. I was down in San Diego doing a wedding, which is a couple hours from where I lived. And I got a text from our birth mother, our expectant mom at that time, that she was leaking and her dad was going to take her to the hospital. So jammed to the hospital. They're like, we're going to keep her at bay, you know, and our due date was for end of September, and this was July. And they're like, we're going to keep her here for like as long as we can, like at max, we can keep the baby in for about 2 weeks. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we have 2 weeks until a baby. Go home, pound the wine, drink, you know, and worry about what I'm going to do with all my clients and my whole life for the next 2 weeks, you know. So I wake up to a text the next morning that the baby is born, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do about this? She's born. Like, Josh, wake up. She's born. Like, we're already the worst parents ever. And the whole way to the hospital, I'm so worried about my clients and who's going to do what and who's going to who and who's taking care of who and who's got... And my husband is driving the whole way thinking, like, this is really early for a baby to be born, 9 weeks early. So we get there through the rigmarole, you know, we got to get the bracelets, and we see our, you know, now birth mom, and, you know, she's got to sign off for us to go see, and it's a rigmarole with the NICU. And I finally walk into the little room, and I lay my eyes on this, like, beautiful little girl that's just fighting for her life. She's 3 pounds, and I just remember, like, wanting to crawl in there and just say, like, it's like crazy because everything else just went away. Like, everything I had ever was worried about in my whole life was like, I just want to do my best by this baby that someone else gave me. Like, someone gave me their baby, placed their baby with me. So I just did nothing for the next 5 weeks but lay and did skin to skin with my baby that I was blessed with, and it was amazing. Now as a hairstylist, you realize you can't make money if you're not working, so that was hard. As the hospital bills climbed, you know, and my job declined, I found, like, okay, I really need to do something. I'm not just gonna do hair out of my sink at home. That's where hairstylists go to die, you know. And slowly but surely, my clients started messaging me, and I was like, I guess I can do it in my house. Like, oh, I don't want to be that person, but I have a preemie, and I don't want to leave her, and, like, you have to wear a hazmat suit when you come over because germs, and, like, it was a rough patch, you know. It was a rough patch. So finally started getting into a groove. I started doing weddings again. I got the opportunity to work with Tamra Judge on the Real Housewives of Orange County. And so that was kind of crazy. And then my blog really took off, and we had a very busy and intense calendar with lots of contracts, in working with different brands and, you know, influencing or whatever. And then when my girlfriend sat in my chair and said, I got invited to a wine and wash, I was like, I don't think so. Like, I've sold, you know, drinks, wraps, all the things, but I'm not gonna allow shampoo direct sales to be in my house. Like, no. And I'm not gonna allow my clients either. So I was like, you know what? I can't just tell you not to go to this thing because it's sort of booming in our area and I'm seeing more and more people doing it. I took it to Facebook and literally did a post like, nobody needs to go to a wine and wash. Like, none of my clients will be allowed to, like, be in my chair if they use this stuff. And I just was really anti before I I knew I hated the product before I even touched it, smelled it, felt it, nothing. I didn't like what I was seeing online and all these claims, and I had product educated for a professional hair care company that was plant-based. So I'm like, I know plant-based products can't do all that. So no, it's like, stop it right now. 6 weeks later, she's back in my chair, and mind you, she had like severe psoriasis, like very, very severe, like bloody, kind of stressed. She hates when I say that, but it was. And I started sectioning off her hair to do her weave, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you on a new medication? And she's like, no, I'm using that stuff you told me not to use. And like my heart just broke, because I'm like, here I am so ignorant to something that like really helped her. Like it really ended up helping her. Like, and if it can help psoriasis in 6 weeks, what else can it do? So the next client that came in happened to be her mom, who was, you know, doing it to support her and was using it the same amount of time. And she could have used several Brazilian blowouts like a month. And I didn't do those in my house, mind you, because I'm like a natural hair person. And she was the kind where she would take out her ponytail and her pony would just stay there, like that kind of hair. And when she took out her pony, her hair moved like hair, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, you got a Brazilian blowout. She's like, no, I'm using that Monat stuff. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how long have you been using it? She said about 5 weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this is crazy. Like two completely on the opposite sides of the spectrum, like substantially different results. So I'm like, I gotta get this in my shower. Hated it the first wash, second wash, third wash. Loved it on the 5th wash, because the products do have a different technology. They're 40% water, so it's like you think because it's natural you're not gonna get a lather, but you need to wash it twice, and then you get this like miracle whip of a lather, and your hair never feels so freaking clean. So I was like, okay, I like the products, but I'll support you. Like, I'm gonna send business to you, to my friend. And she's like, I really think you should come to this meeting with me. And I was like, oh great, I'm gonna go to this cult meeting, like what's gonna happen? So go to this meeting, and I stand there and I watch all these women share. And I mean, they're like Cadillac earners, you know, like they've been in this company 5-6 months, and they've earned their cars, and they all live like close to each other. And I had never seen that in any of my years in a direct sales company. Usually it's like one girl has it and she's on the top and she's been in it for 3 years, and you know. And so I was like, there's something to this. And just them sharing about their story and how the company really does make it attainable, I was like, okay, if they can do this, I can do this. And both of my uplines were stay-at-home moms. They were not hairdressers by any means. And so I thought, oh my gosh, like maybe this will be easier for me as a hairstylist. And in some ways it is, but in other ways, the hair community does not want to be accepting of money. So that's been kind of interesting, but luckily I have amazing clients. And even Tamara Judge loves my products, you know, so it's wonderful, you know. And to date with the company, I've become a director. I earned my Cadillac in 6 months. And I say that because I want people to understand, like, the comp plan is there. And when you're thinking about joining a company, there's really 5 things to think about. And most people say, well, I love these products. Finley's here, my little angel. Hi. Most people say, well, I really like the product, so I'm gonna sell that. And that's great, and that's kind of always what I did, but as you may not know, but I never really was successful with any of those other companies. So there's really something to think about. Timing's everything. We are still a ground floor opportunity company. You can go to the mall and poll people. If you ask 10 people if they've heard of Monat, odds are probably 1 or 2 have, and that's really good odds, and that's a great place to start a business. Number 2, we're a consumable product, so it's not like just buying, you know, a jewelry where now I have this necklace, I'm gonna have it forever until it breaks, or I don't need to buy another one until it's a gift or something. With shampoo and products, you know, once it's gone, I'm a repeat. So, and people are gonna have the best results, so they are gonna continue to buy. And then not only that, but if you think about Shark Tank, they want to know something's proprietary, and they want to know that it's available for everybody. So men, women, children, now we have our pet line. There's just so much to think about I mean, everybody in the home, and it's pharmaceutical grade, medical grade products. I have a lot of chemo patients that use our regrow stuff because it's all natural and it combats hair loss a few different ways. Our Rejuvenique oil, which is what makes us different, right? So we have a consumable product, the timing's there. It's also a necessity. Like when budgets get tight, people don't say, okay, well, I'm not buying toilet paper or shampoo. And the price point is there because of how long the bottles last. It ends up being, I don't know, like $13 a bottle or something per month with how long it lasts, because it's so concentrated and so good quality, you use just a little bit. So the price is there, it's cost efficient. And then we don't have any competition. There's no other direct sales companies that are also selling hair care solely. We have other companies that I love their products, and they have some, but I even have women from those companies that buy our products for the performance. So we have the technology, which I always say is a strong point too. Like the man that formulated, our chief formulator, Jamie Ross, he also did like EOS lip balms, perfume strips in magazines, copper tone sunblock that like you could see it and then it fades, you know, so you know not to miss a spot. Like he revolutionized these products in these industries, and he really is set. I mean, I believe that Monat is like a pioneer for like this blend of science and natural products coming together for hair care good. And I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've seen it on all of my customers, and maybe you won't have this like, oh my gosh experience, but to use a product that is plant-based, free of harsh fragrance and chemicals, free of toxins, cruelty-free, made in the USA. I mean, it's really just, and to be able to bless a friend through purchasing, you know, and you know, we all want different streams of income, and that brings me to our comp plan. To date, we have paid out 3 to 5% higher in commissions than any other direct sales company. So I think that says something too, to be so new and already be paying more in commissions. Our company is four years old. I think we just had our 4th birthday. And we have 2 women in the $5 million club. They've earned that in commissions. Not what they've sold a month. They literally have earned that in commissions. And then 16 or 17 in the $1 million club, which means they've earned $1 million in commissions. One of them is my upline, who is a stay-at-home mom. Just like us, you know, us that are moms. So it's crazy. Honestly, it's been a whirlwind. I feel like my story is still being written. I don't really do hair behind the chair anymore. I get more time with my family. I'm just home today and decided to film this video because I wanted to share my story. And honestly, I really, it's so hard to crack people's mind to be open to this because of the direct sales stigma. But if you can, and you believe in yourself, and you want to just grow who you are. I have learned so much in the 18 months that I've been in this business, not only just about myself, but my strengths and my weaknesses. And we say a lot, the personal development is like so incredible there, and it is. But just like being empowered, empowering myself, and being able to know like, I'm the reason that we have that car, and I'm the reason that we go on these trips. And it's not just me, but it's we, and it's me and this team of women that we all work together, and we have so much fun, and they're so rewarding, you know. And a lot of us are Christians, and we're faith-based teams, and even our company will offer church. And I don't want that to turn anybody off because it's not in your face, but just knowing there's like this huge ethical camaraderie and community, and the whole vibe of the team is there, and it's just amazing. And I love being a part of Monat, and I am so grateful for Monat. And I hope that if you do decide to click join now and take the reins, I mean, you're watching this video for a reason, and you've gotten all the way to minute 19. And so I just encourage you to reach out to whoever shared this video with you, or me. If it was me, reach out to me. And yeah, I'm just excited for you and what's in store for you in the next chapter when you click join now.